Hey everybody, DIY Dad here, out in the garage for a not so fun reason involving my 2012 Chevy Volt, which currently is turned into a brick. So I'm going to talk about how to get into this car when the battery is dead, because you can't open any of the electrical stuff when the battery is dead, and how to pop the trunk when the battery is dead, because that's also an electric switch, which is problematic. So let's get into it. So as I mentioned in the intro, it's my 2012 Chevy Volt. This is a hybrid. It's a gas-electric hybrid. There's a large battery under this car that actually drives the motor and everything else. And there's a gas engine which serves as a sort of generator for that battery system. So there's two batteries in this car. There's the big battery pack that powers everything. And there's a small 12-volt battery which deals with things like starting the motor, opening the doors, running the lights, doing things like that. If the big battery dies, the thing will still run on the gas engine. You'll get 30 to 40 miles to the gallon, moves okay. If the little battery dies, you can't do anything. So that's no fun. So we're going to deal with that. There is a method to jump this car from underneath the hood. It's not working on my car, so we're going to have to go the more extreme route, but I'm going to show you how that works. So to jump this car, what you're going to want to do is pop the hood. And to get into the hood with a dead battery, you're going to have to go in the manual way. So you're going to need a bladed key, and hopefully one that's still programmed to the car. This is a keyless car, so this is the only time you actually use the blade on this key. But if you click that open, there is a spot on the driver's side door for that to go. Just simply pop it in, and you'll be able to unlock your doors even if your battery is fully dead. That'll get you into the car. Then the hood release is a manual thing under the dash, just like every other car. All right, so when you pop the hood on this car, you're going to notice first how insanely dirty it is under here, at least on my car, because on a Volt, you just don't go down here very often, and yeah, I got to do some cleaning. You're also going to find then on the driver's side, on the firewall, this silver post, which is your negative connection for jumping the car. Then under this black cover right here, there's a metal threaded rod that sticks up. That's going to be your positive connection. And that's the recommended place to jump this car, partially because it's difficult to get to the battery otherwise, but also because there are some voltage limiting things to protect the electrical system in this car from a jumping event. Now for me, this isn't working. I'm not sure why. Something with my particular car seems to not have this connection function properly. And I know I'm going to replace the battery anyway, so I'm going to go into the back where the battery for this car actually lives, because it's not here under the hood. It's back there. So to get into the hatch when everything is dead, we're going to have to go climb into the back, which is interesting. Hopefully your car is not too cluttered. So you're going to open up your front door, and you're going to reach through and use the handle to open the back door, to unlock the back door. Get that open, come inside. Then you're going to need to fold these seats down. To fold the seats down, there's a catch right here in the corner. You just pull this towards you, and then the seat will fold down like that. And then you're going to climb in there. Now, the goal of climbing in there is to access a little cover panel that I'm going to show you in the back that should allow us to manually release the hatch. So here we are in the back of the Volt. Not glamorous getting back here, but I'm 6'1", and if I can do it, you can too. What we're looking for back here is this little guy right there. So this little plastic cover that's going to pop off. I'm going to need both hands to do that. And underneath that, we're going to have a manual release, in theory, for this hatch. All right, so under the cover panel, you'll see this little square cam. What you need to do is put a screwdriver in there, or on some cars, you'll have a small kind of tool that we can use this. I think I actually have one with a square end about that'll fit. But if you've got a large enough screwdriver to put in there, ideally, in theory, we pop it in there and turn, and the hatch is going to release. So this is one of those weird moments where I have this thing. I don't know what this is. It's bounced around in my toolbox forever, but it happens to be exactly the right size. So if you don't have this, you're going to need a screwdriver about this size. This happens to fit exactly in that square hole. Apparently, this is made for opening the hatches of Chevy Volts or some other random use. If you happen to know what this is, clue me in. But for me, I can pop this in here. Difficult to do with one hand. But once it's inserted, just a small turn to the left, so counterclockwise, and the hatch releases. Then we can go outside of the car where it's much more comfortable, and we can look at removing the battery. Now that the hatch is open, we can get access to the battery itself. To do that, we're going to lift up this cover. You just fold that straight back. And then your access to the battery ports are right under here. Don't want to lose that. This is my little cover for the access plate. Set that over here for now. So if you want to get access just to the ports, that's in here. But obviously we need to pull this whole thing off. And to do that, I'm going to have to loosen these bolts. There's one here, one there, and then two on the other side as well. And at that point, I should be able to lift this entire plate out. Okay, I've got my 4 bolts removed. They're just 10mm bolts. Just use a deep socket. They come off pretty easy. Once that's done, you're going to need to lift this cover piece up again. There's a pressure clip here and on the other side. So just grab it, give it a firm pull. It's going to lift that up and out of the way. And then if all 4 of your bolts are removed, you can kind of grab on this top edge and sort of work this panel up, and this whole plate should come off pretty easily. If you've got some things kind of stored in it, you might want to pull those out just for weight, or just keep an eye on it. I have all my little bolts and screws and things down in there. So I'm going to get this pulled out and I'll show you what it looks like underneath. So here we are under the panel. Getting that panel out the first time is a little bit tricky. It does tend to get hung up on these posts from the various screws. What I found was helpful was to pull off those 2 battery access doors, just to give you extra spots to grab from. And then I had to kind of pop it loose from the back ones first, and then I could sort of shimmy it just up and it could get it free. It wasn't a big deal after that. To get the battery out itself, obviously we're going to loosen and remove the terminals. Then there's this strap that goes across the top, and you can see the bolt for that right down at the bottom. I'll get those pulled. I'll be back in a second with the sizes on those. We've got both poles removed. On the positive, you're going to take this entire thing off. It's all connected just to that post. So once you have the post loosened, you should be able to pop that entire assembly up and off. Just kind of push it out of the way. Same thing with the negative. Loosen the post, pop that out. The bolt down here that holds the strap is a 13mm. So you'll be able to get that guy out. And then there's just a little vent here on the side for the battery you're going to want to pull as well. And you should be able to flip up the handle and get this battery out of there. Now I need to go buy a new one. So here we've got the new battery. Nothing too special about reassembly. It's going to be just the reverse of everything that you did before. So just kind of walk your way back through it. With the strap, what I'd suggest is with the strap nice and loose, just finger thread just a couple turns just to get that bolt started. And then this strap has a little kind of keyed hole that goes in there in that little light bulb shaped thing. So just kind of drop it in and click it. Then you can tighten that down. It'll hold everything all securely for you. It'd be a little bit easier than trying to click this in first. It just makes the process a little simpler. Aside from that, just reinstall it the way you took it out and you should be done. Well, as you can see and probably hear from behind me, job was a success. Car is back to life, running, no big deal, no errors, no warnings, no nothing. So call this job done. Everything's put back together, no extra screws, no extra bolts. So we're good to go. It's a rare project when we don't have extra bolts at the end. So this being the end of a DIY dad video, I owe you a dad joke. And since we've been working with batteries, why did the Energizer Bunny need to go to the urologist? Because he kept going and going and going. Right, remember with any DIY project, the most important step is just to do it. Nobody's going to see the flaws unless you point them out to them. Take care, stay warm, we'll catch you on the next one.